So what are we doing here today?
Well, we got a lot of Chicago on this table, okay? So I figured I was gonna make a drink for us that I call the Bloody Valentine's Day Massacre. After, of course, the Valentine's Day Massacre with Al Capone, right? And how else do you start something like that but with some Malort from our friends at Jepson's Malort. Give it a nice base.
That's a healthy base.
Oh, of course. Okay.
I think we put more in mine, but okay.
Nope.
Yeah, whatever. No, that's fine. We have a long day ahead of us.
Measure it out, that's fine. We got some Bloody Mary mix from our friends at Clark and Sheffield. Gives it that nice blood look. And Bloody Mary, of course.
I love the sound of alcohol leaving a bottle. That
Then, of course, if you will notice here, we got a nice rim around the glass using the dried giardiniera seasoning from our friends at JP Graziano. Just put a little water on there and then you sprinkle it on. Looks great. And of course, you wouldn't have a Bloody Mary if you didn't have some sort of like vegetable or like something added in there. So what are we gonna do? Regular giardiniera. We're just gonna scoop it like right in.
Which giardiniera is several different vegetables.
Oh yeah.
So this is like pretty healthy.
I mean, it's like putting it on the skewer anyways, so.
They say you should eat 30 different plants in a week. And by they, I don't know, I read an article about this or something. Giardiniera already accounts for several of them.
Oh, of course, yeah. I love the smell of giardiniera in the morning too, and when you throw it into the glass here, just a perfect mix. And you'll notice there's a little bit of, see some of the oil like up on the top there?
Yeah, that's how I like my drinks.
Love my Bloody Marys to be a little oily. And just like that, you've got the Bloody Valentine's Day Massacre. Cheers.
Oh, that's
fantastic.
That's better than I thought it was gonna be. When I saw the oil kind of going to the top and the healthy pour of Malort, I was like, I don't know about this, but that's actually pretty close to a Bloody Mary and better because it has the JP Graziano giardiniera seasoning.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's delicious.
And you know what the best part is? You see Malort and you think to yourself like, oh no, I'm scared, it's Malort. Oh no, scary, scary, scary Malort. It's not that scary. But you know what is scary?
Scary movie. They didn't make the rules.
Oh my God, he's dead!
They're just too stupid to follow them.
We have to call the police.
No way! I ain't going to jail!
It's okay, I'm fine.
We'll get rid of the body.
Actually not scary. The whole point of the movie was to parody not just scary movies, as is the title, but like recent scary movies.
Yeah.
Whenever this came out, like what, 99?
This movie came out in 2000.
2000, which is another year that I associate with like shitty movies and TV. I think I talked before about like 2006 to me is just like shit, and I can't justify this
Yeah.
at all. 2005, 2006, 2004 maybe. Just all is like shit in my head. 2000 I feel like is like shit too.
I mean, you had the, Y2K, the, new millennium and everything like that. Everybody fearing that their computers were going to shut down, and you had some bad TV, some bad movies.
I just associate with like bad TV.
But like this
film.
this started kind of the like spoof genre, like with a lot of those.
Which we've talked about before is like it doesn't exist really anymore.
Yeah. And you got a lot of really bad movies.
Yeah.
From that time frame.
I mean, this had 4 sequels. And there's other spoof movies, Not Another Teen Movie, which at the time I thought was hilarious. And Scary Movie at the time, I remember it being a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, people thought it was really funny. I don't think like critically, obviously, it probably didn't do well, but I remember people thinking it was funny. It was Not Another Teen Movie. There's like 4 of these, 5 of these, whatever.
They ask you how you are, you don't just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Which is bananas to me. And we've talked before about how these movies don't kind of exist anymore, but I think that might be because now that I've had time to think about it for 12 seconds, Scary Movie parodied like a bunch of movies that happened like right before. It's not just like scary movies. Like Scream came out a few years before this, right?
Yeah.
That isn't happening right. It's not like a genre that's existing right now that everyone's like, we're all going to see these movies in the theaters and like we got to spoof that. I think if anything, the spoofs probably happen on TikTok. Like you see parodies of like other TikTok trends.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's more of like the current thing. So this is kind of like a dated concept, and it's weird. I haven't seen it in a minute, but I think it'd be weird to go back and watch this because it's the whole. I think it'd be lost on people that didn't grow up with it either.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like you'd probably watch this movie and you'd be like, there are a lot of weed jokes in this movie, but it's not a weed movie.
Right.
It's not Half Baked. It's not Cheech and Chong. It's not any of those. But like, there's a lot of weed jokes in this movie, which maybe plays today, perhaps.
I don't think so. 'Cause we talked about this with I think with Half Baked, where I don't think weed jokes are as funny anymore because weed is everywhere.
But also, people are not necessarily smoking, but also just like taking edibles and.
Yeah, like I chew my weed. I don't like smoke. But then you can vape, whatever. Like I think I told you, I don't remember if it was on camera or off camera. It's on YouTube if it is. Go search the Half Baked episode. I didn't find Cheech and Chong that funny when I saw it for the first time, because it was like so much of the humor is in being high, and it's like people are high all the time. Why is this funny?
Yeah.
So I think weed jokes are not. They just don't hold up.
Perhaps they don't. But I mean, this movie also just doesn't hold up because. I don't know, it's an awkward look at doing the parody, like they kind of like force the parodies in, like so that they do it. And at the time it was kind of funny because you're like, oh, haha, it's Scream, it's Jason, it's, like.
And you're laughing because you saw the other things and like it's making fun of that. It's like people make fun of stuff all the time now on a million different apps.
But what I will say is that it does a really good job of like mocking the ridiculousn't of like actual scary movies, right? Because, I mean, who among us hasn't watched a real scary movie and been like, what the hell are you doing? Like, it's like the commercials for Geico, right? Where they had the teens and they're all like, there's the murderer coming to get them, and they're like, oh no, let's go in the house. Just get in the car. It's right there. Get in the car. And they're like,
Why can't we just get in the running car?
Are you crazy? Let's hide behind the chainsaws.
because that's the place to go instead of getting in a car and driving off.
Do you like scary movies?
I like scary movies, yeah.
So like if there's like a popular scary movie out, you'll like seek it out?
Well, so I was going to ask about this because, so Anne hates scary movies. She will not watch scary movies.
I don't like them either.
So like I just have to watch them on my own, which is, kind of adds to it. But like I was going to ask about like, what's your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie?
So I'm not big into scary. I'll also to equate scary movie with horror movie. Like what should we?
Like it could be any of them. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a jump out scary movie. Like it could be, like kind of a thriller. Like The Shining is kind of like thriller.
Here's Johnny.
Scary movie. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the jump out, pop out, like whatever.
So I don't see a ton of them. I only see the ones that are like either critically acclaimed or there's a couple where they're so terrifying that I just kind of wanted to fuck with myself. So like I saw the new It, not the second one,
Okay.
but I saw that in theaters, and I hate clowns. I'm terrified of clowns. My whole life I've been afraid of clowns. I had nightmares about Ronald McDonald as a kid. Like I hate clowns. But seeing it in a packed theater the first weekend that it opened,
Yeah.
and everyone else going with everything made it way less scary to me.
Yeah.
That said, it stuck with me for weeks, and I was afraid that Pennywise was going to be
Like in your
nearby.
sewer.
I can do a Pennywise impression.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can still do it because I haven't done it in years, but people said it was spot on. I would give it a. Am I real enough for you, Bill? Am I real enough?
This isn't real enough for you, Billy.
But that I thought was like it did its it's a scary movie.
Yeah.
And then I saw the original after that, and I
Yeah.
thought it was fucking stupid.
I, Georgie, am Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's always the case, right? When you look at the older movie versus the like newer version of it, like especially in scary movies, it's the newer one that's scary because they have to like push the boundaries.
Yeah.
Where when it came out, like it was scary as hell because like that was pushing the boundaries at that time.
Yeah. Have you seen It Follows? Unrelated movie.
I have not. I haven't even actually seen the new It. I've only seen the old It.
If you like the old one, I would watch the new one because the new one is 1,000 times more frightening than the old one. It Follows is probably the most disturbing. See, I don't watch a ton of these, so I'm sure there are way scarier movies than this. But It Follows is, the plot is really stupid. It's, you have sex with a person who has the like thing,
Okay.
and then you get it. And then the thing is, if the thing is going to follow you once you have the thing, and if it touches you, you die. Sounds really stupid. Our friend Eric Ali put me onto this movie. It's terrifying. So it's
Okay.
the whole movie is like the people who have the thing are being followed by like scary creatures. Like one's an old lady, one's a guy who's like 7 feet tall, and they just follow them.
So
And
then like once, and they don't know,
no, they figure it out along the way, like what the thing
but
is.
do they, like, so then once they have sex and they pass it along to somebody else, like they're good?
Yeah, they're good, and then they pass it to somebody else.
Why wouldn't you just like hate fuck somebody, right? Like your enemy, and
That's
then boom.
kind of the idea,
right?
Yeah, it's a very bizarre movie, but that was the scary, like the most scared, uncomfortable, and I've been in a movie. And then like I would say the best quality horror movies that maybe just didn't scare me the most, like they're the best movies, would be Get Out.
Okay, I like that one.
It was a good movie.
That was good.
The Exorcist, I would say, is a good movie.
Yeah.
I like The Omen, even though I think the new one.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I didn't. Only saw the new ones. I think there's an older one.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's a long, winding answer to your question. When I was younger, I was really into monster movies.
Okay.
Like started with like the silly ones, like the Godzilla
Yeah.
movies, and Mothra and all this shit, and then that branched out into like Frankenstein and stuff. When I was like 10, I rented Dracula from the library, watched it when I was home alone at night in a thunderstorm, and I had to turn it off
I am Dracula.
because I was so scared.
Hey, I get it. I understand that. Yeah.
So I think that was
That checks.
probably a good movie too.
Now for me, I actually like two a lot that I've seen fairly recently. I saw them kind of after everybody was hyping them up, so I don't know if you've seen them or not. But have you seen Midsummer and Heredity?
No, I haven't seen either, but I know that
Okay.
at least Heredity. People talk
So
about.
like both of them are they're not like jump out scary or anything like that, but they're twisted and kind of like they'll mess with your head a little bit.
See, the mess with your head ones I associate more with like being a good movie. The jump out scary fucks with me more.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like maybe some jump out scary elements of it, but like, I don't know, like not like crazy jump out elements, but like I really enjoyed those two. And I recently saw, now I can't think of the name of it, but the South Korean one.
A Parasite?
Parasite, yeah, I
well,
just
I
saw
won
that.
Best Picture.
I saw that on the airplane.
To South Korea.
To South Korea, yes, I saw it on there. And I was worried about somebody taking my identity and being trapped in a basement. Spoiler alert. But I like that one too. That was really good. But there are two experiences that I had seeing movies in the theater. Because usually I can't see them in the theater because I have nobody that will go with me. Like my friends don't like scary movies. Anne doesn't like scary movies. Like nobody will go see scary movies with me. And like I'm not the guy who's gonna go like see a movie by himself. I'm just not.
It's very relaxing. You should.
Look, I'm sure that it is.
You go on like an afternoon when there's not
Yeah,
many people there.
especially with like ditching my kids and being like I'm gonna go see
Yeah.
a movie. That would be great, but no, like that's just not my thing. But when I was in high school, we went and saw Stigmata
Okay, I'm familiar. I don't.
at the Ghettoplex in Rogers Park.
You make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head.
And this was when it was straight up like, all right, so first off, I want to make it very abundantly clear. The reason it's called the Ghettoplex has nothing to do with Rogers Park, the neighborhood.
You got kind of called like a racist. or
I did. I got
something
called a racist on TikTok because I called it the Ghettoplex. But like that's the nickname, is it's called the Ghettoplex. Not because of Rogers Park, a neighborhood that I lived in for probably about 8 years of my life. It was called the Ghettoplex because the actual theater itself was run down, was in shitty shape, like just absolutely awful. The chairs were like all torn up and like uncomfortable. You get like springs poking you in the back.
I worry
like,
about bed bugs at theaters like that. I only go to the nicest theaters. Only the best. in a Trumpism. Like I need like the leather chair now.
Yeah.
'Cause, not to get sidetracked, but Potawatomi Bingo Casino in Milwaukee, where I've spent many a morning some night, they had bed bugs in the felt. And ever since that, I've been freaked out about.
Now I'm just like, I'm itching like thinking
Yeah, I
about
know.
that. Like that's awful. I mean, I only go to the fancy theaters now because like I want to have it recline and
Yeah.
like I want to.
Yeah.
But went to go see this at a midnight showing. Went to go see Stigmata.
Do you know what the stigmata are? Fragments, backs, scratched by whips or net.
At a midnight showing at the Ghettoplex in Rogers Park. And like there were a lot of people that were there to go see it too, and it's just down the road from Loyola University, and Loyola University has the seminary school that's attached to it, and so I don't know if any of the like priests in training went to go see it, but like one of the people that I was with ended up becoming a priest. That one kind of like stuck with me a little bit. It was like,
And by stuck with you, do you mean like you're trying to go to bed and you like look at your bedroom door and you're like,
well, it wasn't that type of scary movie, but like it was just kind of like you're thinking about it. Like it didn't
Yeah.
like prevent me from sleeping. Like it was not a problem. The movie though that did cause problems for some of my friends was Paranormal Activity.
oh wait, no, I saw Paranormal Activity in theaters in high school, and that one fucked me.
That one we saw in theaters in Evanston, at the Evanston theaters, and I said to my buddies, they're like, "Oh, let's go see a movie." Okay, great. Well, let's go to Buff Joe's ahead of time. Let's go get some buffalo wings at Buff Joe's. Fantastic buffalo wings in Evanston.
You make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, dizzy in my head.
So all my buddies come and we go and we eat buffalo wings, and we're like, okay, let's go see the movie. And we were under the impression everybody was going. Well, one of my buddies is like, nope, see ya, I'm not going. I'm like, what do you mean? We just had dinner, like we're gonna go see the movie. He's like, nope, screw you guys, I'm going. I'm not watching a movie, I'm not watching a scary movie. I said, okay, whatever. So he didn't watch a scary movie. The rest of us went and we watched a scary movie, and it was an 11 o'clock movie. So we get out of this movie at like pushing 2 o'clock in the morning, right? And this was, I was in college at this point, right? So
Yeah, it's 08, I think.
nah, maybe not. Maybe I was out of college perhaps at that point, but sometime in the like early mid 2000s or something.
Yeah.
So then everybody else goes their separate ways. They're all living in other homes with other people. I'm the only Jamoke who's living by himself at this time. It didn't like spook me where I was like, oh man, I can't sleep or whatever. But all of us ended up just getting on Xbox and playing video games till like 5 in the morning because nobody wanted to like go to sleep.
Yeah. No, that one screwed with me because I think people don't. It's not considered like a good movie anymore, but it screwed with me because it was so real and like
Yeah.
it was like the camera. It was like a security camera, and it's like that's everyone's fear is like ghosts or like paranormal stuff and
Yeah.
like, something while you're sleeping. It was just so the fact that it was like security cam footage made it like you're not watching a movie, you're watching somebody in their bedroom.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also, and I would imagine probably, I didn't see any of I saw the second sequel to Scary Movie. I didn't see
I don't even know if I saw
3
that one.
or 4. It's with our old friend from Something About Mary, Woogie, who plays.
Yeah.
He's got like one little hand and
Oh, maybe
he
I did see
stirs
that.
it into drinks and stuff, and he's pretty funny in it. It's pretty good. Chris Elliott, if you want to come on and talk about Scary Movie 2, we'd love to have you come on and talk about Scary Movie 2. But I didn't see 3 or 4, and so I'm assuming that they probably parodied Paranormal Activity in one of them.
Oh, I guess, because it does come, it does come, those sequels came after, they must have come after Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity screwed me. There's one more I want to mention, but I don't remember the name of the movie. And
Blair Witch Project?
No. Did you see the Blair Thumb Project? Do you remember the Thumb movies?
No, I remember the Thumb, like Thumb Wars
Thumb
and whatever,
Wars,
but
Thumbtanic, the God Thumb, Blair Thumb Project. There might be one more. I had the box set on DVD. So I saw that one. It's on Netflix. It's recent. I think it did okay. It was about a woman who's in like a cabin by herself, and there's a dude like trying to kill her.
not Cabin in the Woods. That was a good one too. Did you see Cabin in the Woods?
No.
You got to see Cabin in the Woods because it is almost a parody of scary movies, but it's a scary movie.
Maybe that. I don't think that is.
I think it's a Joss Whedon movie. I think
we're
Cabin
talking
in the
about
Woods
two different
is
movies.
Cabin in the Woods, but that one's a good one. I will highly recommend that one. I don't know about the other thing that you're talking about.
I don't know either.
Cabin in the Woods is like a bunch of friends. Like
No, that's not it.
and like there's a
You're thinking of Grown Ups. You're thinking of they
that
go to a
scared
cabin and they have a great
Yes.
time after their basketball.
Grown Ups scared the
coach
shit out of me.
died,
Yes.
Yeah. Grown Ups 3, Cabin in the Woods. I can't. I'm sure it's on screen right now in post, but I don't remember the name of the movie. But go watch it. It's on Netflix.
I'll have to check it out because
It's good.
good to know. Yeah, but I like scary movies, and I also enjoyed this movie when it came out because of it like lampooning.
Yeah, I remember it being funny and whatever, but like maybe because they did it to death too by having a million sequels. It's done.
Yeah.
Like you can't do it anymore. It's over. It's been done to death unless you do like a parody of one singular movie, like Airplane. Like you do like a parody of it called like Them or something.
Yeah.
Like a gender
But-
neutral.
Gender neutral clown
Yeah.
attacking people. But I feel like almost like Jordan Peele has found a way to parody scary movies, but like also still make them scary, kind of in that Cabin in the Woods style, with like his movie, like because they're also like to an element, like they're almost like a little funny.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Get
Like-
Out is a good movie that happens to be scary. That's like my favorite movies, or the movies that I find the funniest, aren't like comedies necessarily. But there are some that like are silly enough. That,
Yeah.
Like Airplane, we talked about how much we think that movie's hilarious. Like that's just straight silly. But like the movies I enjoy the most, and like have like the best comedy, aren't necessarily comedies. They are good movies that happen to have funny elements to them. Like
Yeah.
those are the best movies.
Yeah.
Like I was applied to TV. Like my two favorite TV shows of all time. Like I love Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I think my two the best two shows are The Sopranos and Succession. Are like my two favorite. Like these are the best two shows that I've watched, and they're both funny, but they're not comedies because they're just like in real life. Like funny things happen, sad things happen, scary things happen. So if you have a show that like mimics real life and you have
Yeah.
all those things in there, it's just like that sometimes provides the best comedy. Like my favorite scene, I think in any show, TV show, might be in Sopranos season 1. Tony's telling his family how like the Italians are like discriminated against and like how they invented the telephone, and AJ's like, is it true that the Italians or the Chinese invented spaghetti? And he's like,
Now think about it. Why would people who eat with sticks invent something that you need a fork to eat?
it's not a comedy, but this scene is fucking hilarious, and I could picture it happening in a real family. So like Get Out is scary, but it's just a good movie that
Yeah.
has scary elements.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a movie intended to like freak you out and pop out and like let's have this there. It's like it's a good story,
Yeah.
and it's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why I think like when this movie came out, it worked because it was also like making fun of the ridiculousness of like some of the other movies. Again, like why would you go back to the place where Jason or Freddy Krueger, like in Friday the 13th, right? Like or Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Like why would you go into your dreams to face Freddy? Like, why don't you just, there's got to be some other way, right? Like, you don't, why? Why are you facing
right.
the guy who's going to kill you? You know, like, maybe that's not the best example because he's haunting them in their dreams and, like, they have no choice and you have to sleep and, you know, whatever. But, like, why?
Yeah, and like in because a lot of scary movies, like Jordan Peele movies, are like we just said, are really good movies. A lot of scary movies, Scream's a good movie, but a lot of them have setups that are like, this is completely avoidable.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's why the parody works. It's like,
Yeah.
there's a dumb element to these movies where it's like, why didn't you just, like in It, and in the sequel, like, why are you coming back to this town where there's this clown in the sewer that ate your brother?
Yeah.
Just move.
Or like with like the haunted houses or whatever, right? Like, because they're based on like real situations and like on the East Coast where there's like a house that's haunted because Lizzie Borden murdered like 80 people in it or whatever. But like, tear down the fucking house.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, tear down the house. Why do you have to maintain this house that then some poor schlub is gonna go and buy it because they're getting like one hell of a real estate discount, and now they're in a haunted house?
Yeah.
Like, just tear it down.
Yeah. No, that's why, because the setups are so preposterous. I think because they got like old horror movies, like I mentioned the thing where I watched a third of Dracula before I turned it off because I was scared. I should probably finish it. It's a famous
Probably.
movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Like, that's Frankenstein. Like, that's why the movies are parodied over and over again and like are in popular culture. And then they just got more ridiculous and more ridiculous. And I think, like I said at the outset, this doesn't just parody scary movies. The parody is recent scary movies to when it came out. And I think it's just because like the premises, like there are things in them that are so ridiculous. So now I think what we should do is maybe do like a rom-com, like not another rom-com,
But then they do that.
not another teen movie.
But like, wasn't there some other, like, not another teen movie, but like, didn't they do that with, like, there was like a parody movie. It was like, what was it called? Like Movie 42 or something?
Oh,
like
that was the
or-
big. That one was panned. I wanted to see that when it came out because it had like a million funny people in it. But when it came out, it was terrible. Was it a rom-com?
I think that was part of it. Like, I think it was everything.
I didn't see the first.
I didn't see
41.
that one either. So
Yeah.
we could do something like that pokes like fun at rom-coms, but
I don't even know if it's doable. Like people just, you can make fun of something on Twitter, you can make fun of something on Instagram, on TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
It's all happening in real time. So I don't know if anyone's gonna make a movie that's just making fun of other movies.
just make a TikTok.
Yeah, why wait to go to the theater to see somebody making a joke that's been made on Twitter 18 times?
And you actually have to go to the theater. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. This movie was enjoyable at that time. I don't think I would ever seek it out again.
Yeah, things in 2000 were shit, so that's probably why it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think for the score, I think it's like a 6.3.
I was going probably that same area. I'll go 6.1 just because, like, I feel like people enjoyed it at the time and, like, kind of dumb humor and whatever, but I'll go 6.1.
6-2.
Hey, split the difference
again.
Jinx.
Well, I said again, so you can't
Oh.
jinx me on that one. Sorry. No Coke this time.